Warning parents, today's video is going to include some pretty messy things, so be sure to protect the area that your child's going to be working in. Good morning, boys and girls. I hope you're ready for a fun lesson today. Before we get started, I wanted to make sure you have some simple supplies that you'll need. Today, you'll need your baggie of cornstarch found in your Wacky Wednesday bag. It's just 1/3 cup for anyone watching that would like to participate but don't have a Wacky pack. You also need a mixing bowl and 2½ tablespoons of water. I'm so excited about this one because we are going to make something today that's so cool. But first, I want to talk to you about gentleness. What is gentleness? I'm sure you've been told by your mom or dad to be gentle at some time in your life. Think about a time when you were holding a little baby or maybe a new little kitten or puppy. Your parents probably gave you the warning to be gentle. Or maybe you were playing too rough with your brother or sister, and mom had to remind you to be gentle with your siblings. Gentleness is the quality of being kind, tender, or mild-mannered. We also need to remember to be gentle not only with our actions, but also with our words. The Bible gives us some pretty good advice about being gentle with our words. Proverb 15:1 says, "A gentle answer turns away wrath, but a harsh word stirs up anger." Wow, how true is that? Sometimes I forget this, and when I do, a situation can go from bad to worse. If we remain kind, tender, and mild-mannered when we are faced with a problem, it's sure to go a lot better than if we are mean and hurtful with our words. When someone says something that hurts our feelings, we shouldn't say something back to hurt theirs. We should respond in a gentle way. Boy, that sounds hard. But Proverbs 15:4 says, "The tongue that brings healing is a tree of life, but a deceitful tongue crushes the spirit." We can really hurt people with our words. We need to remember to treat people with gentleness so that they will allow us into their hearts. And that's where our Oobleck comes into play. Now, if you've never made Oobleck before, you are in for a real treat. Oobleck is a weird substance made from cornstarch and water. It acts as a solid if you hit it hard, but a liquid when you approach it softly. Let's get started. Okay, so what I have here is the cornstarch and some water and a bowl and something to mix with. I'm going to use a butter knife. And I'm going to do something a little bit different for mine so you can see. I'm going to add some green food coloring to my bowl. I meant to do it to my water. Maybe I'll add a little more to there. By the way, if you use food coloring, you might end up with stained fingers, so be careful. Okay, so what we need to do first, there was a little bit of water in my bowl, but that's okay. We need to add our cornstarch to our bowl. And then slowly add our water. Now, I told you to get 2½ tablespoons because that's what worked for me every single time that I tried it until I did it today, and then I needed 4 tablespoons. But you can try. The trick is just add it little by little so you don't over water it, because if you over water it, then it's done. It won't work. So slowly add your water to your cornstarch. You can always add more water, but you can't take it out. Unless you have more cornstarch, then you just add more cornstarch. So keep adding your water. Mixing it up. And you know what? We're going to have fun. We're not going to use a knife. We're just going to use our hands. Oh, nope, it still needs some more water. So it's getting there. It is almost at the right consistency. And let me tell you, sometimes whenever you mix this up, it works better if you let it set for a while. So if you put too much water in it, you can let it set for a little while. Oh, I'm making a mess. Like maybe half the day and then come back to it and it will be a lot better. Let me get my knife again and try to mix in. Oh, that's turning out good. Okay. So now that we have that all mixed in, I want to show you how it works. Maybe I'll put a little more coloring in it so you can see better. When you're at home, you can choose to use food coloring if you want, but you don't have to. It works just the same without it, and it's really neat. So let me try to mix this up. Would have probably been better to add the more food coloring to the water, but that's okay. Okay, so when you hit this hard, watch, it acts as a solid. My fingers don't go in. Do you see that? But when I do it softly, watch, my fingers will just slide right in. When I'm soft, I can pick it up and play with it. But if I get hard again and I hit it, then it's like a solid. It's the neatest stuff. Just like our hands can't move through the oobleck when we approach it harshly, people also put up their walls when we hit them hard with our words. But when we gently press into the oobleck, it softly melts in our hands. The same is true for people. Kind, tender behavior usually gets you a kind, tender response. It also allows others to see the love of Jesus Christ through you. This is something we can all use some practice on. And what a great way to illustrate it. Be sure to share this cool activity with your friends and family so they can be taught the importance of being gentle. So, we are gearing up for an awesome experience in just 2 weeks. Next week will be our final Wacky Wednesday for the summer, but the very next week on July 29th, we'll start our 3-day VBS. It's going to be all online this year, and it's going to be so much fun. I just can't wait. This experience is open to all children of all ages and anyone who would like to share in the fun. You don't have to be a member of our church to participate. Matter of fact, we would love to see kids from all over join us for this event. Be sure to have your parents register you. You can find a link to the registration page on our church website at columbiaum.org or find it on our Facebook page. It's also on our YouTube page under the Wacky Wednesday tab. Be sure to invite your friends to join along in the fun. We'll see you next time. Bye.